It was early morning in the Vermont mountains, the kind of day where the sky is gray, the wind cuts like a knife, and the snow is so thick it feels like walking through a cloud. Skiers had been enjoying the fresh powder, carving turns through untouched slopes, laughing and shouting with excitement. But high up on the mountainside, in a quiet backcountry trail, one skier, Ben, was about to face a nightmare he could never have anticipated. The snow had been unstable that morning. A sudden shift, a small rumble underfoot, and then it happened. A wall of snow cascaded down the slope. Ben tried to react, tried to ski out of it, but the avalanche was faster, heavier, unforgiving. Within moments, he was buried, the world reduced to a suffocating white tomb, silence punctuated only by the soft settling of snow. Back at the trailhead, a team of rescue workers had been preparing for the day's patrol, checking equipment, communicating with ski lodges. With them was Luna, a white Samoyed with thick, fluffy fur and a nose like a heat-seeking missile. She wasn't just any dog. She was a trained search and rescue animal, experienced, relentless, and deeply bonded with her handlers. When the alarm came in that a skier was missing and an avalanche had occurred, Luna immediately responded. Her ears perked, her tail flicked, and with a few sharp barks, she made it clear she understood the gravity of the situation. Her handler, Mark, tightened his gloves, checking the GPS and avalanche beacon, and said, "Snow, we need you out there. Lives depend on us." Luna's response was immediate, a soft bark and a prancing motion that screamed readiness. The team reached the slope where the avalanche had occurred. The snow was deep, powdery, and deceptively treacherous. Every step was exhausting, every movement a fight against sinking weight and cold that seeped into bones. Mark released Luna at the edge of the debris field, and the Samoyed immediately set to work, nose to the ground, paws digging lightly, sensing any signs of human presence beneath the snow. Ben was somewhere underneath it all, disoriented, terrified, struggling for air. The avalanche had pinned him, a blanket of snow muffling sound and motion. Minutes passed, but the urgency was clear. The cold could take him if he wasn't found quickly. Luna padded carefully but purposefully, sniffing, circling, her body low, alert, every muscle coiled in readiness. She stopped, twitched her nose, pawed at the snow, signaling Mark. "Here." She barked softly, the signal unmistakable. Mark began probing with his shovel, carefully, following Luna's signals. The snow was thick, dense in some areas, light in others, but Luna moved tirelessly, unrelenting. Each time she paused, she assessed the terrain, adjusted her stance, then resumed digging, signaling constantly. Her stamina, focus, and determination were extraordinary, a combination of instinct, training, and an unyielding drive to save a life. The first hour passed slowly. The snow was deep, the air biting cold. Luna never stopped. She dug, pawed, and sniffed, never distracted, never wavering. Mark shouted words of encouragement, checking the avalanche beacon, shoveling in tandem with Luna's indications. Every inch of snow removed could mean life or death. Ben, buried beneath tons of snow, clung to consciousness, feeling faint movements, sensing a presence but unsure if he would be found. By the third hour, exhaustion began to weigh on the team. The cold was unrelenting, muscles trembling, lungs burning with effort. But Luna kept going, undeterred. Her white fur blended almost seamlessly with the snow, but her movements, precise and purposeful, cut through the monotony of the landscape. She barked softly, signaling a slight depression in the snow, pawed again, indicating the skier's exact location. Mark responded immediately, shoveling faster, focused entirely on the dog's guidance. Hour 4. The snow was treacherous, hiding hazards beneath every layer. Rocks, ice pockets, and uneven debris made digging risky. But Luna was methodical, careful yet relentless, never taking her eyes off the surface, never losing focus. Her paws struck through the powder, then harder layers, until finally, a faint sound. A groan, muffled but unmistakable. Luna barked sharply, circling, pawing aggressively at the same spot, signaling Mark with urgency. Mark's heart raced. He dug faster, clearing snow with a feverish energy. The groaning grew louder. Luna circled and barked again, pawing the snow, urging him to keep going. Then, finally, A hand broke through, followed by a head. Snow caked across Ben's face and shoulders. I, I can breathe, he whispered, tears freezing on his cheeks. Luna's tail wagged faintly, but she remained alert, scanning the surroundings, aware that the mountain could still shift at any moment. By hour 6, the team had fully uncovered Ben. He was hypothermic, shivering violently, but alive. Medical personnel immediately wrapped him in warm blankets, administered oxygen, and stabilized him for transport. Luna, exhausted but alert, sat beside him, sniffing his hand, licking his cheek, a silent acknowledgement of the life she had helped save. Her work was far from over, though. Hours of digging, signaling, and navigating the avalanche debris had taken a toll, but she never quit, never wavered, never faltered. Hour 8. 8 grueling hours of continuous search and rescue in freezing temperatures, snow up to knee height in some areas, gusts of wind making every movement difficult. Luna remained at the center of the operation, barking, pawing, signaling, guiding Mark and the team precisely to Ben's position. Every action she took was life-saving, a combination of instinct, training, and a remarkable drive to protect human life. Finally, Ben was fully removed from the snow. He was cold, injured, and exhausted, but alive. Luna collapsed into the snow beside him, panting, fur-matted, eyes alert but tired, had done the impossible. Her determination, stamina, and courage had saved a life that day, demonstrating what animals, particularly highly trained and instinctive dogs, can accomplish even under the harshest conditions. The cold was relentless, biting through layers of clothing and making every movement a struggle. The avalanche debris was deceptive, powdery in some areas, solidified in others, and layered in ways that could trap someone forever if they weren't found. Mark checked the GPS beacon again, eyes narrowing. But it was Luna's nose that had taken over completely. The Samoyed's paw movements were precise, digging, scraping, sniffing, almost instinctively signaling where Ben might be buried. Hour 9 approached, though no one in the team could really keep track anymore. Time stretched in the frozen landscape, each second heavy with fear and anticipation. Mark shouted words of encouragement, but it was Luna who kept the pace, circling, pawing, barking softly when she detected air pockets, nudging snow aside with a persistence that was nothing short of heroic. Her eyes, bright and intelligent, scanned the white expanse, always moving, never distracted, never pausing for breath longer than necessary. The wind gusted, snow flying horizontally, stinging exposed skin, freezing eyelashes. The team had to dig carefully, conscious that too much force could endanger the skier or themselves. Luna remained focused, moving across the snow in controlled bursts, digging, signaling, sniffing for the faintest hint of human presence. Her paws pounded through layers of snow, breaking through powder and ice alike, never slowing, never tiring. Then, faintly, a muffled sound, a groan, weak but unmistakable. Luna stiffened, tail erect, barking sharply and circling the spot repeatedly. Mark's heart leapt. There, that's him. Keep going, keep going. Luna pawed aggressively at the snow, sniffing deeply, urging Mark to clear more debris. Every shovel of snow revealed just a little more of Ben, a hand, a shoulder, a hint of life. The adrenaline surged through Mark and the team. Ben, buried under tons of snow, was struggling to breathe, air pockets small and constricting. Luna's barking seemed almost intentional, a rhythm guiding the rescuers' shovels to the exact location. 8 hours of relentless digging had led them to this critical moment. Mark's muscles burned, his lungs screamed for oxygen, but he trusted Luna completely. Every instinct, every small movement of the dog, was pointing toward survival. The snow finally began to break apart to reveal Ben's head and shoulders. He was pale, shivering, barely conscious, but alive. Luna barked, circling, tail wagging faintly, alert to any shift in the snow or the slope. The team carefully lifted him, wrapping him in thermal blankets, while Luna remained close, sniffing his face, licking gently as if to reassure him. Her job wasn't done until he was fully safe, and she stayed vigilant, eyes scanning the slope for any further danger. Medical personnel arrived on the scene, checking vital signs, administering oxygen, and ensuring that Ben was stabilized for transport. Throughout it all, Luna remained at the center, exhausted but composed, her fur matted with snow, eyes bright, every movement purposeful. The team marveled at her endurance. 8 hours of continuous digging, in freezing temperatures, through thick avalanche debris, and she never stopped. Her focus, persistence, and courage had made the difference between life and death. Mark knelt beside her, rubbing her ears and praising her softly. "You did it, girl. You saved him. I can't believe it." Luna leaned into him, panting, but her gaze stayed on Ben, ensuring he was safe. There was no pride, no arrogance, just a dog who had done what needed to be done, tirelessly, without hesitation, without complaint. As the sun began to dip behind the mountains, casting long shadows across the snow, the weight of what had been accomplished sank in. Ben had been trapped under tons of snow, in freezing temperatures, with oxygen running out, and yet, because of Luna, he was alive. Her courage, intelligence, and persistence had guided rescuers through a complex, dangerous situation, saving a life that could have been lost in minutes. The avalanche debris field, now partially cleared, was a testament to the teamwork between human and animal. Luna's actions had been instinctual, but also precise and intelligent, a reminder that animals can demonstrate heroism in ways humans might never fully understand. She had risked exhaustion, frostbite, and potential injury, all for the purpose of saving a life. By the time Ben was fully secured in a rescue sled and transported down the mountain, Luna had earned every ounce of admiration and gratitude from everyone on the scene. The team, exhausted but elated, cheered softly, while Luna rested nearby, chest heaving, fur dusted with snow, eyes alert but tired. She had accomplished something extraordinary. 8 hours of digging, searching, and alert signaling had saved a human life, proving not only her intelligence, but also her unwavering loyalty and determination. Anna, another rescuer and team member, approached and hugged Luna gently. "You're incredible. Truly incredible." The Samoyed leaned into the affection, tail wagging slightly, still alert, still aware of the terrain, of the snow, of the possibility that danger could return. Her bravery was instinctual, yes, but the precision and persistence were beyond extraordinary. Ben, now stable and warm in the ambulance, kept glancing back at Luna, barely able to speak. She saved my life," he whispered hoarsely. The team nodded, still amazed. In all their years of avalanche rescue, few dogs had demonstrated such stamina, intelligence, and courage under conditions as extreme as this. Luna's heroism had gone above and beyond expectation, embodying the perfect combination of instinct, training, and heart. Finally, as the sun set over the Vermont mountains, painting the snow in soft orange and pink hues, Luna sat near the ambulance, paws tired, body exhausted, but eyes alert, surveying the slopes. She had spent 8 relentless hours, digging, signaling, and guiding rescuers, and yet she remained vigilant, ready if needed. For the team, for Ben, for everyone who witnessed it, Luna was a hero, a living, breathing testament to what loyalty, intelligence, and courage can accomplish, even in the harshest conditions. Mark knelt beside her one last time, stroking her thick fur. "I've never seen anything like it. You are incredible, Snowy. You truly are." Luna barked softly, almost in acknowledgement, then rested her head on his knee, finally allowing herself a moment of rest. The avalanche had been conquered, a life had been saved, and the bond between human and dog had proven, once again, that extraordinary courage often comes in the most unexpected forms. By the time Ben was fully secured and wrapped in warm blankets, safe in the ambulance, the team and Luna finally allowed themselves a moment to breathe. The Vermont mountains, which had seemed so hostile just hours before, were now quiet, snow settling softly over the landscape. But the weight of what had just occurred remained heavy in the minds of everyone present. 8 hours of relentless digging, tracking, and signaling had saved a human life. And the hero of that mission was not just the human team. It was Luna, the white Samoyed, exhausted yet unbroken, who had never stopped, never wavered, and never hesitated. Mark knelt beside her, stroking her thick fur. "You did it, girl. You kept him alive. 8 hours straight, through this storm. I don't know how to even thank you." Luna leaned into his touch, tail flicking, eyes bright and intelligent. She had done what needed to be done, guided by instinct, training, and loyalty, and now she could finally rest. Her body was covered in snow, wet and cold, but her spirit had never faltered. The rescue team marveled at her stamina and precision. Each paw strike, each signal, every bark had been perfectly timed, guiding them to Ben's exact location and ensuring he could be dug out safely. The extreme conditions, freezing wind, deep snow, unstable avalanche debris, made every moment of those 8 hours life-threatening. Yet Luna persevered, demonstrating the intelligence, courage, and loyalty that only the most exceptional search and rescue dogs can exhibit. Ben, still shivering from the cold, looked back at Luna through the ambulance window. His voice was weak but steady. I don't even know how to thank her," he murmured. Tears mingled with frost on his cheeks. "She saved my life. I wouldn't be here without her." The team nodded, many fighting to keep their own emotions in check. In all their years of mountain rescue, few dogs had ever shown such determination and courage over such a prolonged period. Luna's actions were extraordinary, heroic, and unforgettable. Anna, one of the team members, crouched beside Luna and whispered softly, "You are incredible. You never gave up. You brought him back to us." Luna's eyes met hers, calm and alert, as though acknowledging the praise but remaining aware that her work was never truly done. The bond between human and dog, honed through training and trust, had reached its pinnacle in that moment. The story of Luna's bravery quickly spread throughout the mountain community and beyond. Local news outlets picked up the tale, sharing photos and accounts of the Samoyed who had tirelessly dug through avalanche debris for 8 hours straight to save a life. People marveled not only at her courage and stamina, but at her intelligence, her ability to work as a partner with her human team, and the sheer determination she had displayed. For Anna and Mark, the event left a lasting impression. They knew that heroism doesn't always come in uniforms or badges. Sometimes it comes on 4 legs, with fur, eyes full of determination, and a heart willing to risk everything for another life. Luna had embodied everything a hero could be: intelligence, courage, loyalty, and stamina. She had faced a natural disaster and emerged victorious, saving a human life in the process. In the days that followed, Luna received extra care and attention. The long hours in freezing snow, digging relentlessly, had taken a toll on her body, but her spirit remained as strong as ever. Vet checks confirmed she was healthy, alert, and ready to continue her work, but Anna and Mark made sure she had plenty of rest, warmth, and affection. The recognition from the rescue team and the community was well-deserved, but Luna remained modest, alert, and ready, embodying the quiet heroism that had defined her actions on the mountain. Ben, now fully recovered, often recounted the story of his rescue. "I wouldn't be here without Luna," he told friends and family. "She never stopped, not for a second, not even when it was freezing and exhausting. She saved me. I owe her my life." And for everyone who heard the story, it was clear. Sometimes the most extraordinary courage and loyalty comes from animals, from companions who rely on instinct, training, and love to guide their actions. That night, as snow continued to fall gently over the Vermont mountains, Luna curled at the feet of her handler, chest rising and falling steadily. The avalanche had been conquered, a life had been saved, and the lesson remained. Heroism can appear in the most unexpected forms. Courage doesn't always wear a uniform. It doesn't always come in size or numbers. Sometimes it comes in fur, with paws tirelessly moving through snow, and a heart that refuses to give up. For viewers watching this story, there's a question to consider. If you were caught in such extreme danger, facing a natural disaster you couldn't control, would you trust instinct, courage, and a companion to guide you to safety? Could you imagine relying on a dog to save your life, knowing the risk, and trusting in their ability to act decisively? Share your thoughts, your own experiences with bravery, loyalty, or survival, and reflect on the extraordinary bond between humans and animals. Luna's story is more than just a rescue. It's a testament to perseverance, courage, and the unique partnership between humans and dogs. It's proof that the smallest, most loyal companion can make the largest impact, that heroism is measured by action and heart, and that sometimes, life-saving bravery comes in the softest, most unexpected forms. And as the snow settled over the Vermont mountains, as Ben rested safely and the rescue team packed up for the day, Luna lay quietly, exhausted but proud in her own way. She had saved a life, faced the mountain's fury, and proven that courage, determination, and loyalty are qualities that can transcend species, weather, and circumstance.